Okay, students, now we have a new topic here in this video that why the goodwill is written off. Okay, you must have noticed in chapter admission of a partner, we are writing off the existing or the old goodwill, isn't it? So why do we do so? Okay, so there are certain reasons behind the writing off of goodwill, and these points are actually in general. Okay, so these points whatever I have mentioned here is somewhere related with your admission of partner also, or it is related with any form of business, okay, be it sole proprietorship, partnership, joint venture, okay, or terminable venture or joint stock company, etc. Let us see here why the goodwill is written off. Goodwill is written off because of the following reasons. Okay, so there are 5 reasons that I have enlisted here. Okay, there are many more other reasons also. Okay, but let us just discuss the 5 points. Okay, this is much enough for you to explain the concept, I believe. Point number one: when the firm or company wants to shrink the balance sheet, yes, they do so. Okay, this is why in class 11 we have already discussed one topic, a very small topic that is called window dressing. Okay, in the present context, it is also called as creative accounting. Okay, if you want me to explain you what is dressing or creative accounting, I will make a separate video for that. Okay, but we will not go in detail about it. So it is actually what they do when the business they want to shrink the balance sheet, or when they want to show the balance sheet with a less value. Okay, so at that point of time, what they do is that they write off the existing goodwill. Okay, so the goodwill will be written off. Okay, so at that point of time the value of assets will decrease. Okay, because the main purpose of doing so is to shrink the value of the assets. Okay, to shrink the balance sheet. Okay, that is by shrinking of balance sheet we mean to show the value of I mean to decrease the uh, amount of assets and liabilities. Okay, not to show the high amount or the total. Okay, whatever the total you say here, let us suppose 4,72,000. Now they want to shrink this value. Okay, they want to minimize the total of balance sheet. Okay, let us say from 4,72,000 to 4 lakh. Okay, so by 72,000 they are decreasing the value, so this decrease is known as a shrink. Okay, by shrink we mean that becoming small in the size also, isn't it? Now, point number two: in case of admission of a new partner, the partners may decide to start goodwill afresh. So whenever the new partner comes into the business, the existing partners, okay, they may decide that goodwill should be now refresh, isn't it? That goodwill should be starting from the zero. Okay, so they what they do in case of admission is that they write off the existing goodwill. Okay, and they start the partnership firm with a new value of goodwill. Okay, that is now point number three here. On acquisition of a firm with overpriced shares. Yes, this is in case of joint stock company. Okay, this point is actually from your BCom syllabus. Okay, in yeah, in second year we do. It is called from a different branch of accounting. It is called corporate accounting. Okay, there are four main branches of accounting. I think you know that: financial accounting, corporate accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. So this point number three is associated with the corporate accounting. Okay, so out there you can see the acquisition of the firm. I will give you one example here, that the WhatsApp. WhatsApp has been acquired by Facebook, isn't it? So this is called acquisition. Okay. Now you may have also heard that Mintra is acquired by Flipkart, isn't it? So this is called the acquisition. And you must have heard the recent news that Facebook and Geo, they have g- uh, went up to the tie up of the business, isn't it? Actually, this tying up of the business is, if you see closely, they have acquired the number of shares. Okay, so this acquisition, okay, it brings certain parameters here. But this acquisition, this particular acquisition which I have mentioned here in point number 3, is about the complete acquisition. Okay, the entire firm is acquired here. So just like Flipkart acquired Mintra, okay, 100%, and this Facebook acquired WhatsApp 100%. So this is the acquisition which I'm talking about. Okay, so whenever one firm, let us say firm A, acquires firm B, which means the firm A is buying the entire firm. Okay, at that point of time, what may happen is that the shares of the firm, of the firm B, let us suppose, okay, so that at that point of time, the overpriced, because of the overpriced shares, what happens is that the goodwill may be raised at that point of time. Okay, so when you actually calculate the value of share in the market, sometimes the market value of the shares may be very low as compared to the book value, isn't it? So just to make sure that the shares are actually calculated taking base to the market value, you have to write off the existing goodwill. Okay, uh, maybe you have not understood point number 3 right now, because as I already said, this point number 3 is associated with your BCom syllabus, and this is you do in second year. If you have taken accountancy honors or management honors, then you will see this in second year. Okay, as per the syllabus of North Bengal University. But if you choose to do this BCom in the general course, okay, sometimes the students, they also prefer to take as a general course, then you will see this point in this third year. Yeah. Anyway, let us move on to point number 4. Now, overvaluation of goodwill. Yeah, sometimes the goodwill may be overvalued also. Okay, so at that point of time, you have to now make the value at par. Okay, so that is why you have to write off the I mean the excess amount of goodwill should be written off. Let us say it was overvalued by 1,40,000. Okay, and the present uh, sorry, the book value is uh, 5 lakh, and the market value is 3,60,000. Okay, again I want to repeat, the book value of goodwill is 5 lakh, and the market value of goodwill is 3,60,000. Okay, so this goodwill at this point of time is overvalued by 1,40,000, isn't it? So this 1,40,000 has to be written off. Now point number 5, it may be because of the recession. Okay, I hope you know this recession. Okay, what is a recession? I mean the business cycle. In business cycle, these 4 points, it keeps on going. Okay, it is a kind of uh, a circle thing, if which it goes on and on, from recession, then depression, recovery, boom stage. Okay, so it goes on and on. So at present time, during this medical emergency, because of the coronavirus widespread infection, the entire world is under the recession. Okay, so because of the recession also, the goodwill may be written off. Okay, and because of the industry downturn also, sometimes the industry, it may not do so well in the market. So because you're facing the loss in the business. Okay, so your goodwill should be written off. Now what do we do in time of examination? Okay, how come we know that when to write off the goodwill? Okay, it is very simple. Okay, from the point of view of examination, you don't have to worry about it so much. Okay, you don't have to go in detail about the goodwill writing off. Okay, why we are doing so, what are the consequences. Okay, so is the goodwill okay, is or not, is the goodwill bad for the business? So don't go into it. It is a matter of research. Anyway, so this goodwill, in case of admission of a partner, okay, what you have to do, whatever the points I have mentioned here, okay, point number one and point number two, yes, only these points are to be followed. Okay. Oh, sorry, this is point number. How come this? Let me just uh, change right now. This is not point number one, but it is actually point number two here. Okay. So you have only 2 points here. Okay. I mean the two techniques. Okay. So the first technique is writing off the existing goodwill. Okay, which appears in the asset column of the balance sheet. Just write off the existing goodwill between the old partners as per their old profit sharing ratio. Okay, this method is very simple. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. So now point number two, uh, compare the value of goodwill. I'm sorry, again this thing is happening. I don't know what is wrong here. Okay, let me just show you that this way only. So you have to compare the value of new goodwill with existing goodwill to find the value of purchased goodwill. Let me just take you to this. I don't know what is wrong. Anyway, uh, compare the value of goodwill, I mean the new goodwill, with existing goodwill to find the value of purchased goodwill. Okay, so this technique can be used when the value of new goodwill is more than the existing goodwill. Okay, so there is one particular question in chapter number 2, which we have solved in PDF, okay, as well as in I have mentioned in the video also. So you just go through that when the value of new goodwill is more than the existing goodwill. Okay, let me just tell you one example that in the balance sheet, let us suppose in balance sheet the goodwill is already existing, okay, of rupees 45,000. Okay, now the new value of goodwill, let us say, is 80,000. Okay, so by 35,000, the goodwill is increasing, isn't it? New value is 80,000 and the existing goodwill value is 45,000. So difference between them is 35,000. So this 35,000 is actually the amount of purchased goodwill. Okay, so if you like, if anyone asks you the uh, formula of purchased goodwill, okay, you will just say purchased goodwill equals to um, new goodwill, that is the new value, okay, minus existing value, that is it should be low. Okay, so 80,000 minus 45,000, it will be 35,000. So this 35,000 is the purchased goodwill. If you have more doubts, please ask me, because because of the technical errors also, I'm not able to focus here in the video. Okay, so if you have more questions, feel free to ask me in WhatsApp group, and call me. Okay, you can call me anytime. Okay, and ask me the questions. I will be very happy to explain you and clear your doubts.